Caladesi Island became a Florida state park in 1967. It is a rare surviving example of a naturally evolving barrier island with a coastal dune, mangrove maritime hammock, and pine flatwood habitat. So what's the proper pronunciation? Caladesi?
Caladesi.
Caladesi, okay. Good morning. Here we are boarding the ferry, leaving from Honeymoon Island. All right.
I'm Captain Peter. I'll be doing the 15-minute piloting across the Caladesi Island for you.
15 minutes.
We're going to go across St. Joseph Sound. Your safety and enjoyment are the primary focus of our activities today. That beach used to be connected to the north end of Caladesi Island and was called Hog Island at that time. 1899, the city fathers in Dunedin incorporated the township, and one of the first 4 covenants they adopted was that we got to get these stinking, destructive hogs out of town. You can either put them in a corral, buy their feed, you can bring them out to Hog Island, let them find their own food, reproduce naturally, and provide a good source of economical protein for the community. In 1921, a major hurricane hit Pinellas County, divided the Hog Island, and the low point in the middle gave us the 2 islands that we have today. Created a deep water pass out into the Gulf of Mexico, 850 miles west across that gulf here in Corpus Christi, Texas.
How many of you have been out here before?
Not me.
No? Thanks. You should remember, there is an initiation for newbies, right? It's pretty tough.
Uh-oh.
Be brave, alright? Don't let it chase you off the island. We've been running parallel with the sandbar here, which is why Peter couldn't turn and go directly in. He's going to go up to this next red marker and we'll make a turn. We'll go in through the middle of the mangrove forest, which will drop you at a marina.
Welcome to Caladesi Island. This dense growth of vegetation that protects our island from the action of the wind and waves is a unique species called red mangrove. Those red roots on the bottom that look like they're walking out into the water filter most of the salt out of the water and provide fresh water for the plant to live on. Back at the base, from the dock, you can see the black mangrove whose roots look like soda straws sticking up out of the sand and silt. It's said that they secrete a little bit of their salt out onto their leaves, and the story is told that early settlers would pick some mangrove leaves to put in their stew pot and season their food. Much of the wildlife on the island spends at least part of its lifetime in these mangroves, the sea life in the roots, the birds in the branches, the mammals and reptiles in the undergrowth. There are trails on the island if you want to get out and hike, look for that wildlife. There are kayak trails through the mangroves if you want to rent a kayak and paddle to see the wildlife. You can get a map for either one of those in the Caladesi Ranger Station or the cafe. Very peaceful out here at night, great place to watch sunset. It gets real dark and real quiet and you can see all the stars.
See a sailboat there.
To the left of the marina now, as we come around the corner, you'll see kayaks stacked on the dock. Behind it is the main building on the island. Houses the ranger station on the left end and the cafe on the right end.
All right, let's see what we got.
Wow, see that rattlesnake?
Oh, wow.
On island.
That's kind of crazy. Be kind of cool to see one.
Yeah, let's not step on it. Right.
It's kind of a cool,
Look
like,
outside.
yeah. Climb that a little later or something. Nature trail, beach access. Well, what do you think? Should we get right into the nature trail before we do the beach?
You know what? Yeah.
Let's do it. All right.
Usually a 1.5-hour round trip.
Okay.
In an hour.
Yeah. So let's see, 2.5 miles, easy hiking. Trail may be soft or wet. Please remain on trail. 1.5 hour round trip. Let's get it.
Look at all the trees.
Well, they probably do. They probably do prescribe burns.
Sure.
That's
Not uncommon.
yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing all these little lizards. I'm just waiting for one of them to be a rattlesnake.
A rattlesnake's gonna jump out and grab the lizard.
Right? Yeah, beautiful palm trees. It's nice, you know, little clouds in the sky.
Gorgeous.
All right, Caladesi Island, Hammock Loop, part of the 2.5 mile island trail. And it takes about an hour and a half, a little bit less if you're walking fast like us. And what is it, January 31 today?
Yeah.
Beautiful weather for late January. It's a winter weather advisory up in Michigan. No one else hiking this trail right now either. Large oak tree here. Gotta go underneath it. What do we got here? Homestead ruins. That looks cool. Or sounds cool. Maybe it's like the, you know, first homestead that was ever built here.
The original ranger station.
I'm curious to see what year it was first built in. Homestead ruins this way. Look at this tree, man.
About it.
Unbelievable.
And go.
Very neat.
Yeah, that's probably why they do half of those burns.
Yeah.
Just getting rid of those pest plants.
Yeah. All right, we've got to be getting close to the homestead ruins here. All right, so we're coming up on the homestead ruins of Caladesi Island. Wow, let's take a quick look at the signs here. Oh wow, look at this, man. So this is the ruins of Scharrer homestead. The ruins before you are the remains of a homestead constructed and occupied by Henry Scharrer and his family from 1892 to 1934. A Swiss immigrant, Scharrer settled here at the age of 32 after roaming the American Midwest working odd jobs. In 1892, Caladesi Island was known as Hog Island. Following construction of the homestead, the island was affectionately known as Scharrer's Island. The small bay just west of the ruins, beyond the mangroves, is Scharrer's Bayou, where remains of a dock are visible. Educated as a schoolmaster at the University of Zurich, Scharrer married Catherine McNally, an Irish immigrant, in 1894. The couple was married in the prominent palm grove just north of the ruins. They had one daughter together, Myrtle, in 1895. Scharrer sustained himself largely by working odd jobs on the mainland and by trading fish, fruit, and vegetables obtained from his homestead. Scharrer often rescued lost sailors and fed and sheltered them. The words to anyone going out on the waters was, "If you get in trouble, head to Scharrer's." Many visitors traveled to the island for the night and to enjoy Mrs. Scharrer's legendary cooking. Two notable patrons were Robert Lincoln, the president's son, and Carl Sandburg, the prominent Civil War Lincoln-era author. By 1901, Catherine Scharrer's health began to fade. After an unsuccessful surgery, she died in Dunedin, Florida, and was buried in the Clearwater Cemetery. In his remaining years, Scharrer lived mostly alone. His daughter Myrtle married in 1914 and left the island. In October 1921, South Hog Island was created after a Category 3 hurricane separated it from the northern half of Hog Island, thus creating Hurricane Pass. Hence, what had been known as Hog Island became South Hog Island and North Hog Island. South Hog Island was later named Caladesi Island, and North Hog Island was later named Honeymoon Island. While hospitalized in Dunedin in 1934, Scharrer's residence was pillaged and burned. Although the perpetrators were never identified, it is widely believed they were certain hunters who had stolen and poached from Scharrer over the years. Other homesteaders have occupied the
Very
island,
neat.
but none so prominently as Scharrer.
That is cool.
He's making good progress, man.
He's moving. Chucking along.
That dude's gonna be getting tired after that workout. So we finished the hike. It was a lot of fun. The homestead ruins were really neat as well. And we're making our way back to the marina and going to check out the Kayak mangrove trail. Unfortunately, we aren't going to have time today to get over to the beach, but it is just a beach. While there are 4 miles of beach and it's some of the most beautiful natural beaches in the country, this channel is all about adventuring, and that entails kayaking and hiking. You're going to have to come to Caladesi Island yourself to check out the beach, or just go ahead and check out some other YouTube videos. Oh, he's got a little hole. Canoe and kayak trail. Very cool. Okay, here we are in the Kayak Mangrove Trail of Caladesi Island. And we are currently doing a little bit of off-roading, finding our own trail, which may or may not be a good idea because I'm starting to think we may have reached a dead end here. Ancient ceremonial and burial mounds on Caladesi Island are evidence of pre-European activity by countless generations of Native Americans. After the Spanish conquest of La Florida in the 1500s, the island was a site for seasonal encampments and fish ranches. This use spanned 300 years. Tall ships moored offshore. Soldiers and sailors came ashore to hunt, fish, and camp. Smoked and salt fish, plumes, and hides were traded with Cuba. For 2 decades, including the years of the American Revolution, the British ruled Florida before the Spanish regained control in 1783. Acquired by the U.S. as a territory in 1821, Florida became a state in 1845. Yeah, completely covered in mangroves here. Yeah, the sun is peeking through at a few spots, but looks like there's a little trail here to the left. Oh, there's a little crab.